Day 6 definitely seems like forever ago. 5/1/25. This was the day I decided to go ahead and bring out some bricks that I had been collecting to set up a little cooking pit up there at the camp. And basically, I brought out some bricks and I brought out my little contraption that I'd put together to try to rake up the big mulch there down at the bottom. I won't lie, it didn't exactly work out the way I was hoping, but it still did pretty well, and I think with some more modifications, I just might be able to put her to work. However, I'm on day 21 now, July 7th, and most of my attention is going to go up here to the camp area. That's what it was looking like on day 6, folks. So, anybody who's been recently watching knows there's definitely a lot that's changed since day 6. I got quite a bit of this little area on both the left and the right cleared up. But the other thing that I've really noticed about day 6, this is before everything started growing in. It almost looked a little bit more cleaned up on day 6 than it does now. Day 7, 5/3/25. Again, seems like forever ago. This would have made one full week of work out at the ranch. So I was going to celebrate by going ahead and cooking up some food up at the camp after I did some work down by the road. But I think it was also on day 7 when I kind of started thinking I really needed to put an effort into making one walk up and down with the camera so that I could see the progress each day. So I ended up having a little fire down by the road and doing a little bit of raking just to get my burn pit burned out. It acted like it wanted to rain that day. After pulling a couple of ornery roots out of the ground, I decided it was time to go up to the campsite and do some cooking. This is what I brought them bricks in for, and I was glad I was able to have my first meal out at the ranch. But day 7, this seems like about when it started to get clustered up there. I end up bringing in a whole bunch of more bricks, quite a few other little items that I ended up keeping there and that are still there to this day. Seemed like a long time ago. Day 8, 5/6/25. At this point in time, I'd had the ranch for a little over a month, but this was day 8 of actually getting down here and doing some work. The camp area pretty much looked the exact same as it did on day 7. I did, however, get some bricks from my Uncle Butch and Aunt Viola to help add on to my what would be eventually a fire pit and a cooking area, which I haven't had much chance to work with yet. Just had the one time cooking out on day 7. But I did some work down by the road, raking up some mulch, trying to cut up some roots. This is when I was really starting to try to lay the groundwork for being able to get my truck up to the campsite, which thankfully I'm able to do now. Day 9, 5/11/25, Mother's Day. We'd gotten a whole bunch of rain in the couple days leading up to this day. And as you can see, the bottom part of the trail was soaking wet. So I didn't do a whole lot of going back and forth to the truck. Normally, if I go back and forth to the truck, I do a few videos of the full trail. But anyway, I got out here and got this burn pit going. I figured it had been wet enough that I wouldn't have to worry about it getting too bad, but it definitely got really smoky. But this is when I really started to focus on the living room area, trying to get it cleaned up, trying to go ahead and get this area up here a little bit more organized. As you can see, I kind of got another table set up out there, still got my bricks. There's the wagon my uncle gave me. I started working on this area over here a little bit because I had just captured that bobcat on my trail cam. So I figured I better get that area cleaned up, get some cameras set up over there. But it was also kind of when I started realizing that I wanted to start focusing my attention on getting my truck up to the campsite. But in order to do that, I had a couple hot days ahead down by the road, clearing out some stumps and roots. Day 10, 5/17/25. Folks, this was the day I was going to do some work down at the road, try to get some stumps cut up out of the ground, really start working the trail back up to the camp in the hopes I was going to be able to get my truck up there soon enough. But I'd also brought out the Vosker camera. This is the first time I'd actually got it set up out there at the ranch, and this is one of the first times I think I was really using my wagon quite a bit. But folks, this was the first day that it got above 90 degrees, and I'm pretty sure I almost came down with heat stroke. Right here is when I think it started. I got up there and started working that fire while it was already hot, and I feel like my body temperature dang near doubled in a matter of minutes. That's when I knew I needed to get up to the camp, eat me up some lunch, and get into the shade. I basically questioned all my life decisions at this point. So I went up here, I got the Vosker camera set up. I gotta tell you, I'm really glad I invested in that Vosker camera. Definitely had some really good footage pulled off of it. But anyways, this was also the day that the neighbors across the road started doing some work on their property. I won't lie, it made me a little jealous watching them use their big machinery while I'm out here with my wheelbarrow, my rake, my shovel, and my clippers. But anyway, folks, this video here is days 6 through 10, the progression out here at the Rated R Ranch. I'm going to eventually start working on days 11 through 15. I really do appreciate y'all watching and following along with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time.